Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, in deck number 939, we're going to start into All Will Be One. Now, as common for most sets nowadays, there are a lot of legends per set now. So, Kemba was the one that I got finished first. Here is Kemba. Now, we get 2 mana for a 2/2 this time with Kemba. And whenever a Kemba or another cat enters the battlefield under your control, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to that creature. A free equip when the cat ETBs, that's not bad. And then equipped creatures you control get +1/+1. And then, of course, 5 mana to make a 2/2 cat. I don't know how many times that'll be played. I'll tell you the correct thing to do is to have your Colossus Hammer and Sword of X and Y's. But here's what I did. Before we get into it, our partners here at Dragon Shield, this deck is in matte nebula sleeves. So those are beautiful. You can find them at your friendly local game store. But let's look at our ramp first, shall we? Now, there's not a lot, I'll tell you that. We have Soul Ring, Mind Stone, Marble Diamond, and the Liquid Metal Torque. I like the Liquid Metal Torque. It combos very well with the Disenchant and White's ability to take care of artifacts. So if there's some shenaniganery there, then it will work. Now, most of this deck is cats and equipment. Now, there is the problem with equipment-heavy decks is you've got to find that right mix of creatures and equipments. And I don't know if I've done it or not yet. I've only played it once. It did okay. But the first card that we want to look at is, of course, Siegwarth's Aid. Now, this is if you draw the equipment after the cat. If you draw the cat after the equipment, it's problem solved because it just equips for the free. But that's why Siegwarth's Aid. Resistance Reunited, I kind of like this. It is an anti-board wipe for this specific deck, Equip creatures you control gain indestructible. Yeah, the target creature gets +2/+2, but the important thing is equip creatures you control gain indestructible. I mean, it's not as good as a Make a Stand or a Rootborn Defenses. I'm trying out this Clever Concealment, too. I'm kind of liking it. It's kind of different, but the same, So let's look at our kitty cats. We have a bunch of them. It's been a while since I've done cat tribal, per se, but there are a lot of cats in Mirrodin's history that work well with equipment. Even if they don't specifically work well with equipment, like Skyhunter Skirmisher here, flying a double strike for 3 mana. Yeah, it's a 1/1. We don't care. It holds equipment very well with flying a double strike. Skyhunter Patrol, flying in first strike. The Skyhunter Strike Force, it's from the new 1 commander. Melee. And Lieutenant, your other creatures have melee, so that's neat. Leonin the Lightbringer is equipped. It gets +1/+1, kind of like the Leonin Dengard from way back in the day. 1/1 and Vigilance. Leonin Skyhunter is just a 2/2 flyer. Skyhunter Prowler is a 1/3 flyer Vigilance. And this, I love this art on a Doran Pouncer. Yeah, double strike is great for holding equipment, but it's one of those. The art is the reason why I chose this card. I absolutely love it. Leonin Shikari is a must-have. You can play equip abilities at instant speed. Arcbound Mouser, Regal Caracal, bringing them tokens, doing that champion thing. Leonin Elder, why not? It's a 1-drop, and you're going to gain a little bit of life for your equipment coming into play. Leonin Arbiter probably shouldn't be in there because we do have a couple of cats that let us search, but it's a decent cat, so I'll put it in there. Stalking Leonin. Secretly choose an opponent. Now, I encourage you, get you some post-it notes, whatever, write this stuff down so that way. Sunspear Shikari, First Strike, and Lifelink if it's equipped. Skyhunter Cub is flying and 1/1 when equipped. Leonin Squire, you get a 1-drop equipment back. Now, I am playing Diamond Line. I haven't put it in any other deck. It is a 2-mana 2/2. I don't know if I'm ever going to use the ability, but it's nice to have that option if I need to, right? I mean, Trove Warden, Armored Sky Hunter. I love Savannah Lions. I know it's common now, but I've always loved Savannah Lions. Y'all know that. And that's it for, Tasha Swordsmith, King of the Pride, because you got to have King of the Pride, right? Got to have the Simba. Now, I do have some things that make cats, like Felidar Retreat. I love that. I love the retreats better than the Khans Dragons thing because you get to choose something different every time if you want to. But Landfall put a 1/1 counter on your team? Huh? Yeah, that's really good. White Sun Zenith just, late game, put a bunch of cats out there. And then, a Johnny is a cat. A Johnny makes cats. So it felt like a fit. Oh, I have a cat over here in the equipment stack. Last cat, Felidar Sovereign. I've never won with it, but I know people that have. And it's in the deck because I won't win with it, but whoever plays the deck might, So let's look at our equipment. Now, we have this new Kemba's banner. I had to put it in there because it's Kemba. I mean, it's her personal banner, right? Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each creature you control. It does have 4 Mirrodin, making them 2/2 rebels. Okay. I think they costed these cards a little more since you get a free 2/2 with them. I am running a sword of Forge and Frontier. Y'all know I don't have a whole lot of the X and Y swords, but I pulled this one, so this was the deck that got it. Nettlecyst. The living weapon ones are kind of different. I have another deck that's more or less living weapon deck or things like it, but +1/+1 for each artifact and enchantment you control. Okay. Black Blade Reforged is outstanding. Mace of the Valiant. Colossus Hammer is really good for the free equip. You just put a cat, it picks up a hammer, right? Masterwork of Ingenuity. Now, I did draw this with the hammer, and that is a ton of fun, I gotta say. Darksteel Axe. Great Sword of Tyr. Heirloom Blade. Loxodon Warhammer, my personal favorite equipment. I mean, it's trample, it's lifelink, it's +3. It's just, when you got to beat face, accept no substitute, right? The Leonin Scimitar. I know that's not much, but it is a Leonin weapon, so I kind of wanted it in there. Hexgold Hover Wings. Volshock Battle Gear. Maul of the Skyclaves. It does give you a free equip on cast. But +2/+2 flying and first strike, that's pretty strong. Cloak of the Bat, because who doesn't love flying kitties, right? And then the Glimmer Lens. A little bit of card draw. Now let's look at our removal. Now, it's white, so you can probably already name the removal, right? Come on, say it with me. Yep, that's right. Sword of Plowshare, Disenchant, Soul Snare. See, I like Soul Snare for Commander a lot because this card, you can put it down there, and if it steers one attack away from you, it's worth it. But a lot of times, it'll steer attacks for a whole table revolution. Now, as y'all know, I play a lot of big games here, 6, 8, 10 players, whatever. Um, and if you can get that kind of, just by it sitting out on the board, yes, I know it's not a surprise, but it does have an effect on the board just by being on the board. Something to think about. Oblivion Ring. Planar Outburst, got to have a board wipe. Generous Gift. Dispatch. I figure since we've got enough equipment, right, that we might get there with Dispatch. And then the Reprobation. I cannot not sing Coward of the County whenever I cast this. It just plays in my head, and I'm not a responsible human. But anyway, that takes us to our non-basic lands. The Windbrisk Heights, a little hideaway action, you know. Uh, the Fair Basilica. Late game, sure. I mean, I kind of like these for this style deck, the single color decks, you know. The Drifting Meadow and the Secluded Steppe, just cycle lands. And then, of course, the Ghost Quarter, because there are problem lands out there that need to be dealt with. But that is it for today. I do appreciate y'all watching, subscribing, liking. And, you know, if you hadn't subscribed, we're here at the tail end of this video, 11 minutes in. And go ahead and subscribe. Tell somebody else to subscribe. Subscribe 2 times. Anyway, thank y'all so much. But we're going to go ahead, shuffle, and cut.